Shout out to Nova for reminding me to record because I was definitely stuck on my tools. But yeah, happy Friday, guys. Back testing Friday. Today we're gonna go ahead and back test and take a look at GU, EU, and some of the indices from this past week. Obviously, I may be moving slow because I don't have my favorite tools here that make it move quick. So bear with me, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So at the time when I was looking at this last night, right, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that the market is continuing to make new lows. Market is in a downtrend in this area, right? Now, I'm able to see that the market is continuing to give us breaks of structures to the downside. And I'm seeing this right now. I'm seeing this right now. I'm seeing a nice break of structure to the downside. Now, as soon as we get that break of structure, guys, notice how we get trend line liquidity, right? That's exactly what we want to see, because once the market comes into our opportunity, right, we want to take this liquidity out and continue with that trend, right? That's the thought process. Now, not only do we have a break of structure to the downside, which this right here, this last buying candle, that would be my starting point, but we also have a head and shoulder. Notice how, yes, we do have lower low, lower high, lower low, but within that structure, guys, we also have internal structure, high, low, high, change of direction. We finally get that change of direction to the downside. So if I move this out the way, can you guys see this? I feel like, yeah, I deleted it. You guys see that structure though? That's what we need to start identifying, right? I know a lot of the time, this is fairly easy to see. Lower low, lower high, lower low to the downside, right? Break a structure to the downside. But when we're able to identify the internal structure within that, right? The structure that makes up that higher high, higher low. Notice how we get a high point, which would be my left shoulder, pullback, which would be my neckline, break a structure to the upside, which would be my head. And then as soon as we continue to that downside, that would give me that change of character that we're looking for when it comes to the head and shoulder setup. And obviously, we would be looking for sell opportunities around here. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. Now, the thing is, when we're looking at, EU and GU together, I like to look at them, when you guys are trading correlating pairs, right? Whether it's indices, EU, GU, AU, NU, things like that. You guys want to go ahead and take a look at, the distance within the pair and the within live price. Like if this is live price and this is my sell zone, what's the distance between that? Because what happened? Okay, this was literally, this is like around 10. I don't know military time, but I know those 00, that's 12 for sure. So notice how we have this nice push up to the upside on EU. Now, if we go to GU, notice how far we are. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this for the visual. Notice the distance that we have still. If this is my sell zone and this is where life price is, look at where EU was at. EU was much closer. Would you guys agree? Yes or no? This is something easy to participate in, right? Is EU closer to my sell zone than GU? Or is GU closer to my sell zone than EU? Which one is closer to my sell zone, guys? EU, right? We can actually see that, right? GU still has room to play. So when I'm looking at this last night, I'm like, yeah, low key, I think that, EU might not be the one we're going to be taking, and GU might be that one. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the structure here on EU first, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at the structure on GU after. Let's go ahead and have this play out. So look, right away, it came in with some aggression, and obviously that already hit your stop loss, right? Already hit your stop loss. So one, it didn't even give us any type of confirmation, especially on this time frame, right? If we were looking for market to continue selling, if we were looking for the market to continue selling down, we would have wanted the market to respect this zone and start pushing away and change character off of that. Does that make sense? So we would have break a structure, change of direction. Now, as soon as we change direction off of this sell zone, we know that that we were correct. We could continue to look for some possible sells, right? But the market does not respect it. Like it doesn't respect it at all, right? And we're on the 1 hour time frame, so this is the closest sell structure that I was identifying. But if we go to the 4 hour time frame, we also have some structure here as well, right? Even though it's fairly ugly, it still works, right? Because we have to follow the confirmation, right? Notice what we have here, guys. Man, I wish I had my tools, bro. We have a break of structure to the upside. Not only that, my bad, I'm on an Apple right now. It's the option. I think it's command. Is it command? Yes, sir. Not only that, we have our change of direction. If we're looking at this in a head and shoulder aspect. Now, we have my breakout rally. Guys, if we can identify the breakout rally, that's half the battle right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. My last buying candle is right there, guys. Box that up. That is my starting point. Not only that, look at the structure that we have here. Consolidation, high, low, and then we just start building up liquidity inside of that. Market was caught in a range. So just started building liquidity. Then what happened? Market swept liquidity and continued to the downside. Nice, really, really nice head and shoulder action right there. Market structure is looking clean. Sometimes it looks ugly, but even with it being as big as this, well, you could see it, guys. Like liquidity is being built up. Market sweeps liquidity and then immediately just continues to tank to the downside. Guys, that's head and shoulder, right? That was liquidity swept to the upside, and then the market continued to tank, right? So identify that. So even though we were looking for something right here in the 1 hour time frame, there was still some good zones a bit higher. Give me a 3 if that makes sense. There was some still good zones just a bit higher, right? So it's good to identify everything, right? That's why I like to do top-down analysis, because even if we go to the higher time frame, we can already see that this big blue candle, that's my daily starting point. But I'm not going to have a box like this. I'm going to go ahead, drop down time frames and refine, make it a bit smaller. Like we can see it respected. Market came right back in the next day and then boom, drop. So technically it's in profit, but I would like to refine, go ahead and make it just a bit tighter. Now we can see that the left shoulder is pretty much the same. Now that's good structure. Sometimes you may being too close to live price, which is if live price was here at the time, right? If live price was here at the time, looking for sales on the 1 hour, sometimes you will get caught and take a loss here because the market is going for a higher zone. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. And that's just something you have to understand, right? Don't just stay stuck to one time frame, right? You stay stuck to one time frame, you're going to get caught and then you're not going to understand where the market was headed, right? Now, notice what happens after that, right? Let's go back down to the 1 hour time frame. Now that we've already identified everything and clarified it all, let's go ahead and drop down to the 1 hour time frame and just take a look. Because technically we're still looking for sales. It just might not be this zone, right? And that's why I let you guys know we're taking the lagging pair on this idea. Now, if I'm still wanting to look for sales, guys, as the market is going up to these possible sell zones, right? Possible sell zone 1, possible sell zone 2, possible sell zone 3. If the market is going up to my possible sell zones, what should I be doing? Anybody know?
Adjusting.
Adjusting my lines. Yes. Marking up your BOSs. Yes. So if these are my BOSs to the upside, break a structure, break a structure. All I need to do is have a change of direction line. Boom. So as soon as that market starts to change direction, I know what the real move is now. I know where the market wants to go. Does that make sense, guys? As soon as we get this change of direction, I already know, okay, we're going to continue in that downward trend. Whoever was playing here got caught, and whoever was playing a bit higher, they ended up, having the better entry today. And that's okay. But we can go ahead and capitalize on this brand new setup here so we can go ahead and shift that market back down. Give me an 8 if that makes sense, guys. Because sometimes you're going to take a loss, but understanding what we're going to do next, that's super, super important. It's not just about finding opportunities and it's going to hit or it's not. No, understand what to do next. Because just because you took a loss doesn't mean you can't find a reentry. As long as the market tells you what it needs to tell you, right? If it shows you what it needs to show you, you can make the proper adjustments and continue to look for opportunity. But now let's go ahead. We'll delete this. And let's go ahead and mark up to let it play out. So it looks like we have a break of structure here. Now I'm just going to mark up every break of structure so you guys can see how detailed we should be. Right? But we have a break of structure there. Break of structure there. And as of right now, my change of character line should be here. Now, obviously, whoever took this trade first touch took a loss, but if they're waiting for the confirmation, they haven't taken any loss yet. They haven't even entered the opportunity. They're waiting for confirmation. So the market goes higher, obviously. So as of right now, this is still my change of character. The market can go ahead and continue to the downside. And if it changes character, we can look for sales. Now, if the market continues to the upside, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, we continue to adjust our lines. Now let's go ahead and continue. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and adjust our line. Break a structure. My change of character line is right there. Now notice, right? Look at this is the thing, guys. When you just pay attention to one pair and understand what you could be doing, right? Notice how we just broken it closed above this. Would you consider this a breakout rally? Let's delete this for now. Would you guys consider this a breakout rally?
Yes.
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 Now, obviously, somebody is going to be looking for buys and somebody is going to be looking for sells. This is still a good opportunity. Whoever decided to take buys in that area, definitely 8 a 1 to 3. That's your lowest wick in that area. You ate your 1 to 3. You bought to my sell zone. Now, just because I wasn't thinking counter trend trades doesn't mean somebody else wasn't, right? But just something to think about, right? If you focus on one pair, two pairs, and you mark up everything that you see, guys, this is how are you not going to master this pair? How are you not going to identify every little thing, every little clue that it leaves behind? You know what I'm saying? You're going to identify these things. So that buy came right to my sell zone. So as of right now, somebody could continue to look for buys, right? Because again, somebody could look for this starting point right here and continue buys. Or if the market respects this, we're going to change direction and then we'll look for continuations to the downside. So let's see what's going to happen. Market does not respect this starting point and we change direction to the downside. Now, the thing that I like about this is as soon as we change direction, we actually consolidate for the rest of the day. So it's holding this zone, which means now we have higher high, which is my left shoulder, higher low, my neckline, higher high, my head. Now we change direction. Now, this is already a target point, right? So if we hold this zone and come back up to this zone, let's go ahead and mark this up. My goodness, where's my tools, man? If this is my sell opportunity, right? And this is where I want to take sales, stop loss, If this holds, this is already a 1 to 2. That's exactly where I should be partialing. Let's go. Now, look at if we can hold and take this liquidity as well. Notice how notice how that is almost identical to a 1 to 2, where you should be partialing out some money, and right here, which is literally a 1 to 3. Look at that, guys. Look at how that just like lines up perfectly. Give me a 5 if that makes sense, guys. Let me know. This is something that I'm gonna be looking for next week, and see if we can continue to hold the zone. Especially if we just like continue down and just consolidate right here, and then just make our way up. Oh, that's perfect. Let's see if we can continue to the downside. I would love to see if we can get that. So that's everything that went down on EU this morning, I guess, last night and this morning. But now we have an understanding why this zone got stopped out and why the higher zones were so respected. And obviously, we got the confirmation that we're looking for to continue sales, right? So if you ended up getting stopped out here because you were taking, you took EU, well, now we have a confirmation to sales. Let's go ahead and see if we can take these opportunities here next week. Now, when we go to GU, everything just happened to play out the way it did, right? Notice how it does respect the starting point, and that's why the market ended up dropping a little bit, right? The market respected the starting point, but right away, did anybody see anything funky? I'm gonna move it like this, right? This is where I wanted to take some sales. Now, I just want to leave it like this because I just want you to identify something. See, I want to see if you guys can see it, right? Notice how as soon as we get everything we need to see, left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction. As soon as we get everything we need to see, notice as soon as we come back up, what happens in this area? Can anybody see this? What happens in that area?
Rejection or consolidation, one of the
Well, consolidation does happen. So yes, you're not wrong. And Yanni, I respect you for even answering and stepping up, because you're a guest on this call. So I appreciate you, bro. Of
Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
course. Now, there's something that I'm looking at specifically. Like I'm trying to train your guys' eyes right now, right? Notice how as soon as we get into this area, right? This is a sell zone. So whoever took opportunities here, like it gives you profit. It does give you profit, but notice the wicks. Notice the wicks. What does that look like to you guys?
Liquidity.
Liquidity. What kind of liquidity? There's a specific word that I want to bring out. It's called trendline liquidity, right? So if you guys didn't know that, welcome to class. But yeah, as soon as you see that rejection and you start to see like this staircase, you can't see it as well on this time frame, but notice how we have that. When I seen that, I was like, bro, I think we can push up one more time and then continue to look for sales. That's what I was looking for this morning. But when we go to lower time frame, let's take a look at that a bit cleaner. Yeah, notice how we just like come in this area and we just start making that trend line liquidity. We do get a drop and it respects this area, but it still continues that trend line type liquidity and continues to the downside. Now, whoever was looking at this as a setup, you still ate. Like it still gave you opportunities. BOS to the upside, change of direction. Technically, this would be your shoulder. Sometimes they're not the cleanest head and shoulders, so I can understand if somebody was looking at this like a head and shoulder. This is something you'd be taking. Stop loss at the high gives you 1 to 1, gives you time to break even. 1 to 2 gives you time to partial out. Now, does it give you a 1 to 3? Definitely gives you 1 to 3. So obviously, it gave you an opportunity to do your thing, and if you had good money management, you're able to to come up. But if you're looking at this drop with a full candle, right? Because at one point that candle was not a wick. So let's take a look at this. If you were just like, yo, the market is respecting me today. I am Himothy. Every trade that I took this week, I'm smacking. So today, I'm just gonna go ahead and hold, right? Now, if you didn't take any partials and minimum, let's say you broke even, right? Because you should at least, if you guys are going to be not taking partials, which I don't recommend, you should always take partials. But if you guys aren't, because I know some traders don't, at least minimum, guys, move your stop loss to break even. The stupidest thing you can do, in my opinion, is be up X amount of dollars and just still continue to have your stop loss in the negative, bro. Like, just there's you should never lose money if you're up X amount. The minimum, bro, it's a break even trade. Protect your capital, right? So we're at a 1 to 3, right? Yeah, we're at a 1 to 3. Now let's say you saw this next candle and it will just boom. This whole thing was just like dark, dark gray, dark gray. And you're thinking, I'm gonna hold this thing because we're gonna continue to the downside, baby. We really do this. So I'm a hold. I'm a hold. Right? Who's ever done that? What's up, my boy? Sheesh. Who's ever done that, guys? You see the market moving and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold this one.
I
Right?
do
I've
that a
done that
lot.
for sure. I've done that for sure. You have, and then that's when you go ahead, take that screenshot, and then you post that screenshot, and then the screenshot curse goes and bites you. You know what I'm saying? I've been there, so I know y'all been there. Yeah, the screenshot curse, bro. Don't do it. Take partials. Take profit. Anytime you want a screenshot, guys, take profit, bro. And then post your profit. Don't screenshot how much you're up, on the chart. Actually, I'm telling you, I've been there, bro. Whoo, I've been there too many times, my boy. So let's say you didn't take profit. Shame on you. The market literally goes right back up. Guys, that's why money management is there. It helps us gain profit and protect our profit, protect our capital. Right. So that's the more tedious thing to do in trading, in my opinion. I feel like finding sell zones, depending on what trading style you trade, finding setups are pretty easy, in my opinion, but having to have the emotions, or I guess not having emotions to, see your profit and, when to take partial, when to break even and things like that. It's probably the more tedious and more emotional thing to do, but man, it got to get done. It really does have to get done. So let's go ahead. We'll go back up to the 1 hour. Now that we understand why it was consolidating in that area. Now this is the moment of truth. Yeah, trade management is literally a thing. You guys have to be working on that just as much as finding an opportunity, right? Promise you guys. That's how you build the strong mindset. Repetition, repetition. So now this is the moment of truth. What's going to happen for this zone, right? Went back up to the 1 hour time frame so we can see everything. So that's how, the day ended. Let's actually go back down to the lower time frame to see what we could see that give us confirmation. So as soon as the market touches it, let's drop down to the 15. Let's drop down to the 5. Okay. Notice when we're on the 1 hour time frame, my closest pullback is right here, guys. I'm gonna move this out the way for now. My closest pullback is right here. I want to drop down to a lower time frame till I see a pullback a bit closer till we get here, right? So I can see if we can get confirmation on this, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's drop down on the 15. It's the same pullback as the 1 hour. If we drop down to the 5, notice how my pullback is here now, right? So let's see if we can get some confirmation, see what the market's doing. All right, we finally get that break. Now, if you're looking at this, guys, because I've done this multiple times, and I guess no one's like, this is a gem. Like, you just had to be on this call in order to to get this information. You don't have to, like, if you're comfortable with trading off of the 1 hour pullback and waiting for this confirmation, right? If you're comfortable waiting for this confirmation to enter another opportunity, right? If you're able to wait for this and then wait for the pullback to happen here to take this, then you don't have to drop down, right? This is for people who want a bit more opportunities. Um, but a lot of the times, it requires a bit more experience because of the emotion aspect, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Because we're looking for the same thing, right? I still want the change of character. Right now, this is my break of structure. I'm sorry, higher high, higher low, break of structure. This is my higher high. So I want the change of direction so we can look for more opportunities a bit higher. So I can catch another opportunity here in this area rather than waiting for the market to change direction here. And then I have to wait. I have to wait for the market to make this whole move, right? I have to wait for the market to make its whole move. And then I get in right here, right? So does that make sense, Yanni?
Yes, bro.
This
Appreciate
is
it.
for more the experienced traders. Sometimes even myself, I have some trouble, right? So if you guys don't feel ready, it's okay. You don't have to drop down. Drop down to the time frame that you feel most comfortable. If you like the 1 hour time frame because structure is looking very, very simple to you, use that structure, guys. There is no right or wrong. This is your own personal bias. What's easier to you? Because you don't have to make trading harder, right? You never have to make trading harder. So let's drop down. And I just want to see if we can look for another opportunity. But this is the thing I wanted to tell you guys, right? And this is the gem that you just have to be on one of these calls in order to listen and understand. When you guys see this opportunity, when you guys see market structure consolidating like this, right? When you guys see consolidation in your sell zone, do not panic. You know where you're entering at, which is right here. You know where your stop loss is at. You should know where your 1-to-1 is at, right? You should know your 1-to-1 and 1-to-2 so you could have good money management right away and let the trade do its thing, right? What I used to do is because I used to think in head and shoulders. Everything moves in head and shoulders, right? Like it has to be super clean. It has to look like this, has to look like consolidation, has to give you a sweep, has to give you a change of character, and has to give you a mitigation / right shoulder entry. Guys, this does not have to look this clean. I promise you, it does not have to. It can also look as sloppy and as clean as this. Higher high, higher low, BOS, higher high, lower low, change of character, opportunity, sell down. If it breaks structure, it breaks structure, right? What I used to do, I used to see this consolidation and wait. I used to exit. I used to exit and wait for the market to go higher so I can try to catch the opportunity right here and then shift the market down. Has anybody ever done that?
I did that before.
I used to do that a lot my first year, right? I stopped doing that because I realized, one, it doesn't have to do that. And two, the market is made to make you emotional. So when you see the market consolidating, it's making you second guess everything. You're like, well, shit, is the market going to go up or down? Like, I don't know. It's doing it right now. Back and forth, ping pong. Trust your trade, guys. Know where you're going to enter, know where your stop loss is. And if you hit stop loss, then take it like a man, you know, wear it off the chin, wear it like a boss, take the loss like a boss. And if it goes your way, have good money management. And this is a perfect example of that because if I was looking at my first year, if I was in my first year looking at this, I'm exiting this trade right away and looking for a better entry. But it literally sniped it, bro. It's giving you hardly any drawdown, and it just tanks. And that's already 1-to-1, 1-to-2 break even action right there. 1-to-1 break even, 1-to-2 take partials, 1-to-3. We're out of here. Let's see. Nope. Continue to the downside. Whoever was scalping this opportunity here probably ate a little bit. This was pretty good structure, and I kind of like this as well because everything lined up. We have a breakish structure to the downside. Not only did we break a starting point, but we made a brand new starting point, right? Starting point here. Market was respected. Now, all we have to do is mark up our zones. That's my breakish structure to the upside. And this is my change of direction. Now, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candle breakout rally. My starting point, my next starting point is technically right here. And my shoulder is right here. So this was another opportunity as well. So whoever took this one, it looks like it gave you a 1 to 3. Gives you a 1 to 1 break even, 1 to 2 take partials, 1 to 3. Oh yeah, all day. Whoever scalped that definitely ate. This structure right here is what didn't let it go higher because market gave us everything that it needed. Everything lined up. We got the rejection off of the starting point. We have the change of character. You know, we have the change of character off of the starting point, which gives us our head and shoulder. And everything just ended up lining up in this area. Continue to the downside. Continue. Does that make sense, guys? This was actually a pretty good setup. I didn't even look at that till right now, but following how it just created everything, we disrespected a starting point to create one. Market respects with clean structure. I mean, that looks pretty fire. Pretty fire. Let's go ahead and go to NAS. Let's go. Where are we
Yay.
at? What's up? What up? All right then. Let's go to NAS. When was it though? We're in the 5. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, it was in here. It was in here somewhere. Um, Tuesday, Friday. Okay, yeah, I was in here somewhere. All right, let's move this, delete this stuff. Um, Bruh, I think it was this one right here. So I was looking at how market was pushing up with indices. Let me see. I think it's this right here. Go to the 4-hour time frame real quick. So I was looking how, markets were still bullish in this area for indices, and I know a lot of people were looking for sales in this area, including myself, until I got there, and I was like, it's not really the lagger, And especially, if we're looking at this as a starting point or a head and shoulder aspect, everything is there. It aligns for sure, right? But now if we look at this, right? Notice how this is already here, but if we go to US30, notice how US30 is way down here. Does that make sense? NAS is literally inside of its sell zone right here, bro. Well, US30 is way down here. Now let's go to SPX. SPX still has a little bit to go. So let's just delete some stuff for the visual. Right? So understanding that, right? Just like I just broke down to with EU and GU, right? If we're trading the lagging pair, you want to take the one that is the furthest away. So if it's the closest, if that pair is already like super close to it, that's highly likely we're not taking that one because it's more likely to hit stop loss. Does that make sense? Does anybody have a question about that? Anybody? I feel like somebody might not understand.
Can it have like the opposite effect? Like, can it take off first?
It can. That's a great question. It can take off first, right? Now, that's just a question you have to ask yourself. Am I willing to take a loss here, a possible loss here, in order to catch this move, right? Because if let's break this down real quick, right? Bro, where my tools at, bro? Okay. So again, yes, based off of the rules, right? Wanting to take the lagging pair, right? Just based off of this, right? Which one would we want to take? A, B, or C?
B.
B, right? B is the furthest away from my sell zone, right? A is pretty much right in that sell zone, and C is definitely a bit closer, like it's on the way. You know what I'm seeing? You know what I'm saying? So based off of this, we would want to take the lagging pair because if this pair still has room to push up, then by the time it gets here, these pairs can be a bit higher. So these setups are more likely to get stopped out, right? But now the question was, can it have the opposite effect? Meaning, if this pair is already inside and these pairs are still on the way, can this pair respect and send the market down? That can happen. That can happen. Now, again, that's a question you have to ask yourself. Am I willing to take a loss here, knowing that these pairs still have room to push up? Right? I've asked Oren this question, and this just goes on the trader, right? There is no right or wrong, guys. This is all personal preference. Understand this is all personal preference. I've talked to, Mike Navarrete, we all know Mike, and he was saying that he likes to take the lagging pair, and that's where I got this information from. And when he broke it down, I understood why, right? Because he wants to eliminate risk as much as possible. He wants to take losses off of his trading book as much as possible, and he's the disciplined trader, so he's going to trade as disciplined as he possibly can be, right? Does that make sense? Give me an 8 if that makes sense.
So that's what I do right there, bro. I'll take this setup right here. If there's like a 4 o'clock in here when the market is going to react at the same time.
Yeah, that's a bit more advanced though, but you're right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, now guys, now I asked Oren the same question. Do you take lagging pairs or do you trade the setup as you see it? And Oren said he trades the pair as he sees it because there has been times that he's noticed as well that the pair that's already inside, he's waiting for this one, like has been taught. And then this one will go ahead and drop, and then so will these. And then, the market just continues to tank. He's noticed that as well.
Yeah, like something I was thinking about. I don't know if it's a factor or not, but like the US30 is like 30 companies compared to like the NAS or the S&P. They're like more companies put together, so like it has more weight towards it. Like I don't know if that makes sense.
I understand.
So like it'll affect the market more because I don't know. Is that
Yeah.
something to take into consideration?
Um, Not really. I mean, obviously, like the companies do affect the stock, right? But what I would like to take in consideration is more of the structure, right? More of the structure, and this is going to be a lot more advanced than I intended to go about it. But because you're asking, I'm gonna try to break it down, as simple as I can. Yes, Yanni. The Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the SPX or S&P 500 would be different stocks or different indices. but they, you know, US30 is 30 of the best. I forget what it is. I know NASDAQ is like the tech companies, and the SPX, I'm not sure if it's another tech or something else, but SPX 500 is 500 companies, NAS100 is 100 companies, and then US30 is 30 companies.
Turn off the camera, turn it off.
Thank you, Beanie.
Yep. Let me see. Now, this is where it gets a bit more advanced, guys. Right? A bit more advanced. And this, I get, again, this is where you just had to be on this call in order to get the information, because I was not planning on going about this. There are other educators, in my opinion, who can explain this a lot better than I can, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. So anytime I see something like this, guys, I'm always focused on structure. Always focused on structure. Meaning, I'm understanding the distance between each pair. This is something that I don't really think anybody, I haven't really heard anybody talk about, but I'm understanding the distance between each pair and how it has to move. Right now, if I know that this is a possible sell opportunity, and I know that these pairs still have room to go, but you're like, you know what? I want to see if this is going to react. What I like to do is I like to drop time frames. So let's just say, you know, this area is the 1 hour time frame. I'm gonna drop down to the 5 or 15 minute and see if I can see some type of structure. See some type of structure. Maybe I can find a starting point in this area that shot the market down, right? So I have a break of structure right here on the lower time frame. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Now, again, I'm just gonna do it one more time. As the market is dropping down, I'm looking for breaks of structure on the lower time frame. Boom. Let's just say this right here is my closest BOS to the downside. So on the lower time frame, I should have a starting point in this area to sell the market down. Now, just because I see it doesn't mean I'm taking it off the first touch. Why? Because again, I know that these markets still have room to go higher. So what I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to wait for the confirmation, right? And everything starts with dance. It's already in my zone. So what I want to see is I want to see the manipulation. I want to see consolidation, BOS, change of direction, and shift the market to the downside. I want to see the same thing right here. I need to see the same thing. That way I know for sure that this is what I want to do and participate in. Because if I don't see this, I'm expecting the market to go higher. Does that make sense? And I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing right here, right? Maybe there's a violation right here, you know, from the other side. Obviously, there was someone looking to buy in this area because of the break of structure to the upside, right? Somebody was looking to take a BOS opportunity. Now, somebody is obviously, I don't take starting point violations, you know, to be honest, as much, but maybe somebody is looking for a starting point violation, right? Instead of the head and shoulder. So same thing, market's already technically in the sell opportunity zone. So I want to see the same exact thing. And if I see the same thing in all three, oops, then that's when I'm like, okay, cool. I'm having a really good feeling about this. But if I just see it in one of them and the rest are telling me to look for some buy opportunities, now let's just see, does that make sense? Let's go back real quick. If I see the same thing in all of them, that gives me more confirmation that the market is going to go my way in the sell opportunity, in the sell bias. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. Right? Now, the thing is, if I only see one of them giving me sell opportunities, but I see the rest of them kind of giving me, you know, bullish vibes like this instead, let me see. but I see this on two of them and only NAS is giving me sell opportunities, I'm going to be more likely to wait. I'm not going to take any sales and I'm going to wait for the market to go higher. Does that make sense, guys? Because sometimes the market will fool you, and this is why it helps trading all three pairs. And this is how you can go ahead and take a loss also off of your books, right? Because if the market is telling you, hey, it wants to go higher, maybe it doesn't look like the inverted. Maybe it's just making new highs, right? Maybe it's just like, you know what, we're not changing character yet. But this one says, you know what, we're going to invert and push the market higher. And this one just says, you know what, nope, just breaks the structures, simple break of structures, telling us that we want to continue buying. This is something to take into consideration when trading all the correlating pairs together. Now, I know that could have been a lot for somebody who's new. So this right here is going to have to be like a topic we might just have to break down for a single call. But I tried to break that down as simple as I possibly can. I hope that made sense to somebody. So NAS100, SPX, and Dow 30. What are you talking about exactly? They're all separate.
Yeah, they're all separate, I know, but since we were looking at three pairs at the same time and look
Oh
for,
yes, yes. This is an example of them right there.
yeah, so it will be like NASDAQ, SPX500, and like Dow 30 or
Yep, they all correlate. Correlation means that they all move very, very similar,
oh, okay, okay.
almost identical, some would say, but very, very similar.
Is there more like more similar like stocks that
Honestly wouldn't think so, bro. I don't think it kind of, I mean, I don't know personally because I'm not in the stock game to be 100 with you. I would assume no because they're different businesses some are doing different things. But I mean, I'm sure you can research some things, ask ChatGPT. You might find something, you know what I'm saying?
yes, bro, appreciate you a lot. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So when I'm looking at that, right, and I'm taking these things into consideration, I know that SPX and NAS, or I'm sorry, SPX and US30 still have a ton of room to go higher, right? So now at this point, I'm dropping down to the lower time frame. What time is it? I'm dropping down to the lower time frame. I'm on the 1 hour time frame. So what am I doing, guys? What is my thought process when trading indices? Well, the main thing that I like to do is I like to find really good high probable zones, right? Usually they're nowhere near live price, right? If live price was right here, usually really good, really, really, really good zones are a bit lower or a bit higher, right? So I want to wait right here for the next possible buy, or I'm waiting for new bullish structure to form. Give me an 8 if that makes sense. And this goes for everything, not just indices, right? I'm either waiting at the best high probable zone or I'm waiting for new bullish structure to form, especially when the market is bullish, right? So this is what I'm seeing, right? On this time frame, on the 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing a liquidity sweep to the downside, and I'm seeing that we need a change of character to the upside, right? We need the change of character. This is what it looks like. Left shoulder, head, we need the change of character, right? But I don't think that happens. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, cool. Well, that's not the one we want. Hold on. I went too far. All right. Right there. So the thing is, right? We haven't gotten confirmation in this area. But look at what time it is. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, which means I'm going to go drop down to a lower time frame. And what I want to see now is I'm looking for liquidity. I'm identifying liquidity here, here, right? I'm looking for liquidity. Now, what I want to see If the market is going to continue bullish, what I want to see is liquidity, sweep, change of direction for that new bullish structure so we can continue looking for buys. Right? That's exactly what I want to see. Now, let's go to the higher time. Let's go to the 1 hour real quick. And let's go to to NAS. Notice we're in that zone right now, right? That sell zone. Now we have very, very similar structure to buy still. Notice how we have BOS to the downside. And we have, well, it looks like we're waiting for the change of character still. Need change of character. But now this is the thing. Again, look it's 6 o'clock. So again, I'm waiting for that lower time frame. I can see the liquidity right here already. I can already see it being formed. I can see the consolidation. What I want to see now is liquidity sweep and then a change of direction to the upside. Once I see that, I want to go ahead and start looking for buys. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Because I'm still waiting for bullishness. That's the thing. I still want to see if we can continue these buys. What the thing is, the market didn't change character first. If the market changed character first, I know where I want to look for my next buy right here at this BOS. But it hasn't happened yet, which means I need to wait for new bullish structure to form. Right? So let's go ahead. Same thing with SPX. Everything is looking the same. You see how this structure is looking the same? SPX and US30 still have room to go higher. And they're all giving us bullish structure. Even though NAS is already in its sell zone, it's still giving bullish structure. But the same thing, none of them has changed character. None of them have changed character yet. None of them have changed character, which means we are waiting for brand new bullish structure to form. And I can already see it. Right? I can already see it. Now, in essence, I would probably be waiting down here. I ain't even gonna lie, because this looks like pretty good structure. But again, I'm either waiting down here or I'm waiting for new bullish structure to form. It's that simple, guys. You're either waiting or you're waiting for the new structure to form. Now, notice we just swept liquidity. Well, it's going to sweep liquidity, which means I would like this change of character to happen right here. So let's see if we can get that. We're on SPX right now. Ooh, a massive drop. We're either waiting down here for buys or we're waiting for the market to continue to give us confirmation for buys. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know. I'm breaking down the sauce right now on indices.
For that, would you have to, like, to get new structure, would you go down to a smaller time frame, or
Yes, but you don't need to drop down to the 5. I'm just trying to give you guys some clarity. You can still drop down to the 15. It's the same structure.
like how can you talk more about like how catching a new structure? Because I got like the waiting part, but I think sometimes like the market just leaves without me, and I don't know when to get
Sometimes that
in.
happens, bro. Sometimes that happens. That's the thing. Trading's not easy. And depending on what time frame you're looking at, sometimes that time frame doesn't give you an opportunity. So that's something else to consider as well. But if you're talking about how do I look and wait for new structure, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, bro. So if you want to just like watch with intent and take some notes and ask questions if things don't make sense when I'm done, then that's what I would recommend. But yeah, guys, just because you drop down to look for new structure does not mean it's going to give you an opportunity. Like I can't stress that shit enough. Just because you drop down, it's like and you find something, like you're not gonna be like, yo, listen to me, right? Like make me a sandwich when I tell you. Like, no, it's like this, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen like that. Just because you find an opportunity, you still have to wait for these entries. I've learned to accept it. If I miss it, it's okay. Don't chase it. Yeah, as long as it goes your way, like, bro, that's That's exactly what we want to see. You know, it sucks he didn't give us an entry, but like, hey, when it does, I'm ready because I've seen it multiple times. You know what I'm saying, JV?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about right here, right? Like for NAS guys, it starts to pop and you start to see some strong movement momentum around between 6 and 7, because that's when the banks come in. So notice, boom, 5:45, 6 o'clock, market's already starting to pump, which means look it. And again, if this is where you focus on understanding that head and shoulder structure, consolidation, phase 1, BOS/liquidity sweep is phase 2. Phase 3 is change of character. Once we see this, guys, it's game over, bro. We're looking for opportunities to send the market up. So right now we have phase 1, consolidation. Phase 2, we broke structure to the downside. Phase 3, we wait for this change of character. Once we get phase 3, we're able to look for the new entry to send the market higher. So you have to wait for this stuff, guys. Like, you have to wait. So let's go ahead. We're waiting down here, or we wait for this new structure to form. Now, at the same time, I'm looking at all 3 pairs. Look at NAS right now. Again, it just rejected off of that higher time frame sell zone. But look at the structure that we got. We have a breaker structure to the downside. And we are waiting for this change of character to happen. Notice how we have that new structure already forming. US30. We already know US30 has the most room to go. Notice consolidation, massive drop. We just swept liquidity. Now we're waiting for this change of direction. Give me an 8 if you guys see what I'm seeing right now. And this is the thing, just because you guys see liquidity down here does not mean the market has to tank and take that out. It does not mean that this you see this drop, like, oh, it's gonna go for all this and then go. Like, no, it doesn't have to do that. Find consolidation, wait for a sweep or a break of structure, and wait for it to reverse. So now let's see. Let's go back to SPX. We have, I think I traded this on the 15-minute. We have a pretty nice change of direction. And right away, the market drops. Change of direction. Let's see on NAS. Change of direction on NAS as well. Now let's see. Let's see what US30 says. US30 said no change of direction. What would your thought process be, guys? If you're looking for bullishness in indices, but 2 out of the 3 are giving you bullishness, what are you guys thinking? I want to know your thought process. I'm going to tell you mine right now, but what is your thought process?
Possible buys.
Possible
Yeah.
buys.
2 out of the 3, yeah, bullish.
Possible buys, right? Doesn't mean like, oh, it's buys 100% out of the time. Like, no, I'm looking for possible buys, right? But the thing is you have to understand which one you're going to be participating in. Because I'll tell you right now, I didn't see a change of character. I'll be honest, I'm more of a US30 trader. I like US30 a little bit more. But it doesn't give me the change of character that I'm looking for. But NAS does. So I ended up taking NAS buys. NAS gave me an opportunity. One to three. SPX gave me an opportunity. You guys are probably thinking like, dang, that's a big ass stop loss. Like, bro, I let the market tell me what my stop loss is. I don't tell the market. I've learned to listen to the toxicas, bro. Y'all gotta listen, bro. So look, yes, sir. NAS and SPX gave me confirmation. US30 didn't, so I chose not to take US30. But now let's take a look and see what happens. That's funny. So let's take a look. Let's look at NAS. Starts to hang out, comes right back and hits me break even. I actually got hit break even. That's so. She was market moving. She actually took sales in this area, I believe, and hit me break even. So, but that's the thing. You have to have good money management no matter what. Market, I got in right here. Market goes up 1-to-1. I had already moved my stop loss to break even. Market hit me break even. It is what it is. Right? It is what it is. Good. I'm glad. But does the market go my way? Yeah. So I should be happy about that. Like I'm still like I'm confident. I'm like, bro, that's fine. Like, so 8, hopefully she was able to take some profit. I got my stop loss at break even. Cool. I trade another day. But I was correct. Now let's go to SPX. All right, let's go to SPX. Market touches my entry 1-to-1. So I'm gonna go ahead and break even. I don't know where my 1-to-3 was, but let's just put it right there. Bruh, barely, bruh. Look at I barely survived it. I barely survived it. But now look, where's my 1-to-2? Actually, let me go ahead and just put that shit. My bad. My bad, guys. 1-to-2. Boom. Did market hit my 1-to-2 though? Did market hit my 1-to-2 though?
Yeah.
Yeah, which means I can take partials, guys. I can take partials. So technically, I can be like, yo, I just got my money. Well, technically, I didn't even take a loss with NAS, but now I'm able to pay myself. So now the day is profitable. The day is profitable, right? That's the whole point. I didn't take a loss with NAS because I had good money management, and I was able to take some money out of the playing field with SPX. Now I don't think the market actually hits my TP. I think it tanks the next day, but let's take a look. So again, I'm still in, guys. If the market hasn't hit my take pro or my break even, I'm still in. So technically, we're in there still.
Yo, Vinny, when taking partials, like how much percentage should I take? Like the 50% of the profits that it gave me?
I like to take 50% at 1-to-2 personally.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So, I was able to take partials. I could move my stop loss to break even. Market never hit my break even. So at this point, I'm like, okay, maybe the market can potentially continue to go my way and continue bullishness, but it doesn't and it crashes. But that's okay. Like I was right for the moment, and I knew that this wasn't like a swing. This isn't a swing opportunity. This is scalping. I'm catching the move of the day. I'm catching market open. Like I know this isn't something that you just continue to hold because it's not a daily setup. This is a 5 to 15-minute setup. It's right now. It's right now money. You know what I'm saying? So you guys have to have money management when it comes to these setups. Now, let's go ahead and finish this with US30. I didn't even take a look at US30, so I don't even know what it did technically, but I just want to take a look at it with you guys. So look at market doesn't change character, but it holds its zone. It holds the zone. It created the dominant low and holds the zone. So if you're thinking of taking another opportunity, something that I would be looking at next would be a starting point. And technically, this shoulder here is still valid. Now we finally have a head and shoulder setup. It's not the prettiest setup, but now we still have one. Let's see if you're able to take some profit. I didn't take anything off US30 to be honest. So let's take a look. Okay, cool. It was able to give you some opportunities.
Yo, V,
Stop loss. What's up?
what I noticed from my back testing when I have my shoulder, my starting point, and the fifth like all stacked up together, there's like more possibilities of going your way. Just wanted to share that. Like it helped a lot, and I've been doing it lately, and I've been having like more profits because I'm doing that, and yeah.
Good, bro. It's good. Stay consistent with that. If that's it working, stay consistent. So look, if you weren't, I mean, I wasn't focused on this, but look at how it gave you an entry. It gave you 1-to-1. You should be at break even.
Yeah.
Market was just shy of 1-to-2. Now let's see if it gives you that. I don't even know. Let's take a look though. 1-to-3. I'm already at break even. So if you took this trade, you're in it still. I think it tanks right here. Yeah, it tanks, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, at least it gave you an opportunity to break even, you know? And if you were able to take partials off of here, I mean, that's something you have to tell yourself, guys, right? Like just because my partial is here, like if it's right here hanging out, like bro, you could take partials if you want, right? Just because it hasn't actually touched your partial zone doesn't mean you can't, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. At the end of the day, if you're in profit, it's your responsibility to take profit off of the playing field and into your trading account. And from your trading account into your bank account, baby. Right? So that's your responsibility. No matter what everything says. Just because my take profit is right here or right here and market barely missed it, like, oh, I'm not taking profit. Like, bro, you better take profit and stop playing. Like, bro, what's 10 pips? Take profit, bro. Take some profit off the playing field. Um, but yeah, guys, I already know, guys, that this call was probably a bit more advanced. I hope it wasn't, and I hope that you guys are able to understand. But again, you trade indices, you have to be very, very detailed. When you're trading correlating pairs, you have to be very, very detailed because the detail matters. Like every detail matters. Like if you want to be accurate and know exactly which one to take, and participate in these markets, like you should always be accurate no matter what pair you trade. But if you're going to be playing with the big dogs and indices, you have to be very, very accurate with what you're doing. And when the market gives you profit, guys, let that be like a thing in your head. If the market gives you profit, it's your responsibility to take some profit. If you're struggling with just like closing out trades and closing profit, one of the biggest things that's helped me my first year was 246, 20, 40, 60, 20, 40, 60, 80. Go buy twos. Graduate. If you're up 20 pips, close 20 pips. On a 0.01, that's $2, dog. 0.01, you're up 20 pips, that's $2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If you're able to, if you have a bigger account size, that can be $20, that could be $200, that could be 2K, depending on your account size. But you guys got to stay consistent and feel how it feels to close out trades and hold profit. If you're just smacking, if you look at your trade history and you just see $2, $2, $2, $2, like that's good. That's really, really good. Now we just continue to grow and gradually continue, right? If you've been smacking $2, 20 pips, smack 40 pips, 40, 40, 40, 40 pips, $4, $4, $4. Graduate from 40 pips, go to 60, 60 pips, 60 pips, 60 pips, $6, $6, $6. I'm telling you guys, feel how it feels to just close out trades and see blues and just like end the day in profit. And you're gonna be walking into your work like not giving up, flying F because you just feel good. Like you know that you can really do this. The only difference is capital. And that's like the honest opinion. Like you'd be talking to your boss, like, come on, dog, I'm up $8 today. Stop talking to me like that. Have some respect. You feel me? But it's fire, man. It's fire. I like feeling like that. Like when I have a good day and there's a walk-ins, like, hey, you got time to cut hair? I'm like, you got time to make an appointment, big dog? Because I'm up right now. Want to book an appointment? Here's my card, big dog. For real. That's how I be feeling low key. Like when I'm up like that, like I'm just like, nah, I don't have time. Make an appointment. Here's my card. But I'll be lying. I'm like, yeah, of course, sir. Right this way. What kind of haircut would you want? You know how it be. Try to get that money, baby. But it's time to feel good, man. It's time to feel good out here. But I hope this call helped you guys. I hope you guys had some clicking moments. If you guys have any questions, right, exactly, watch your tone with me, my boy. Miguel already knows. He tries to book an appointment. BG tried to book an appointment. I'm like, I don't even respond to these fools no more, dog. Don't even respond to these guys no more. But if you guys have any questions, guys, hit me up in the chats. If you guys need help with charts, tag me in the chats so you can go ahead and get some feedback. I will see you guys on Monday. You guys have a good night.